Hey Diana, I'm your device with 360 AC. So you got a chance to sway that trophy again and lift it up. When you were out there with your squad and just got to lift that trophy again, what was that feeling like?
I mean, we were talking about it in the back. I mean, this group literally has not been together in 10 years whole. Obviously, we're missing Pri, but it just takes you back to being, you know, in those difficult times, in the trenches, training camp. And it was just a special team. We just all got along really, really well. I said it out there. We were all at a point in our careers where we were willing to do anything to win. We were desperate to win a championship. And it came together beautifully, really. It was just a fun team to play on. Any given night, anyone can have a big night, and that's the beauty of playing on a team, and that team really personified that.
That was basically the halfway mark of your career.
Yeah.
And there's always a point where athletes that they know that their career is going into the second half. What exactly was the moment that you knew you had to change your approach entering the second half?
Yeah, I mean, that was, you know, in my first 10 years, we won 3 championships. So it's like anything, you just think you're going to keep winning them. You know, you're going to keep having opportunities. And as we all know, sports always takes a turn. You know, whether it's injury, free agency, you know, people wanting different roles and coaching changes. You know, there's always different things that, you know, can either get you to a championship or get you further. And that's why tonight's so special, because it's never promised that you'll get back there or even win it.
Bien, hablando de momentos especiales, has tenido muchos momentos muy especiales, pero ¿qué sentiste hoy? O sea, tenías ahí a tu esposa, a tus hijos, a toda tu familia. ¿Qué se siente celebrar esos 10 años?
Y bueno, como dije, es la primera vez en 10 años que este grupo está junto, mi familia estaba ahí. Y yo creo para la ciudad, para reconocer un equipo que ganó un campeonato, que ganó un trofeo, para esta ciudad es importante. Y lo que hace Matt y Josh, la historia de este club, es algo especial. ¿Qué te parece?
Quick Spark Notes version for the rest of us? Quick Spark Notes version for the rest of us?
She said Matt, she said Josh, and special team. It was amazing. She really loved having me there. Yeah, that's it.
It's a Texas Spanish.
What was your question in English?
It was, she's had a lot of special moments in her career, but in particular, what made this one extra special is she had her family there, so I asked how she felt having her entire family.
Diana, you kind of view you as a pioneer in the league over the course of, you know, 20-year career. As it's evolved, where the league is, when you started, where the league is now, and the amount of money that's available, and what's moving forward, how do you feel about it as you're reaching towards the end of your career to be where the league was then and where it is now?
You know, it's gone through an amazing journey. You know, when this league started in '97, you know, every building was sold out for 3 straight years, and then for whatever reason it lost a little bit of its momentum. And you know, I've seen the ups, I've seen the downs, and right now this league's in a great place as far as attendance, as far as coverage, you know, on every, you know, social platform, being on TV. I think it's in a place where it can only get better. And you know, like anything you do in life, when you're around it, you just want to leave it better. And I think for a lot of us that played for a long time, obviously BG now going into a decade, she's seen it all too. You always want to see it better, and that's where it's at right now.
Brittney, Diana mentioned how, you know, you get that naivete of winning right away. You had that as well. How do you feel like those experiences and now what you've learned now as a veteran, how they compare and how it helped you?
Well, I mean, I learned a lot those first few years, especially that year. You know, versus now being there, seeing how hard it is to get back. Like you said, you win one, and then you think you're just going to be there the next year and the following year. And like you said, a lot of roles change, and you have to. They're not going to give it to you. You got to go get it. So just weathering the storm, figuring out, you know, your role, my role, from then to now. There's a lot of different little changes, but I know one thing, I remember what it takes, and we're just just trying to get back there.
Diana, when it comes to the team now and where you guys are at, I know continuity has been a thing, people in and out of the lineup. What do you kind of attribute this skid to, and what's it going to take to kind of get to where you need to be when the playoffs start?
Yeah, it's no surprise. When you're healthy, you have a great chance. We've just had, obviously our core group hasn't played many games together. I don't think we're doing enough things to affect the game in winning ways. And I think today, for the most part, we played better. That's a really good team. So we're just gonna have to find a way to get healthy in these next 2 weeks and really go into that playoff, no matter who we play, give ourselves a chance. And I think we need to tap back into some of those things that we did, when we were playing well, which isn't long ago. So like anything, it's frustrating because we had a great week of practice, and we got to a lot of things that we had to work on for a while. But like anything, we'll come back tomorrow, get on that plane, go to Chicago, and try to win another game. That's all we can really do.
Hey Diana, I have 2 questions for you. What are some of the unique training methods you use to stay competitive against some of the younger players?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously my diet's changed. Different things to get ready for the game, which didn't work today. But yeah, when you get a little bit older, you got to do some other things to make sure you stay on the court. And it's it's an everyday grind. It's something that you do daily. Consistency is always one thing that I've always tried to master. So it's just the little things and doing them every day.
And when you entered the league, what was your goal as far as longevity?
Yeah, I could have never imagined playing, for 20 years. This league is hard for a long time. We played, year round. It takes a toll on you physically and mentally, but, thinking back on it, 20 years and all of them here in Phoenix, that feels really good.
Brittney, I'm just curious, in what ways have you seen Diana maybe evolve as a leader since you first entered the league?
I feel like she's when I first got here, she was already leading us, and I always called her the floor general out there on the court. She sees everything the way she sees the game, the way she sees it from every position as well. Those little nuggets that she dropped, we always were just trying to soak them in. Over the years, she's just gotten better at it. When she says something to you, you can just see how everybody's locked in. When she comes and talks to you on the side or the group, she just grabs our attention, and that's just deep. And it's something that I've always cherished. When she would coach me up on the side and help me out, because like I said, I was young and naive, and I needed to learn a lot, and I credit a lot of it to be.
Diana, there was a social media post about if this is the last time with the last 2 games. That's necessarily about that, but when you do leave, I know a championship would be great, but what are you kind of hoping to leave behind in these last couple years of your career? What would, kind of fulfill you to leave behind when that happens?
Yeah, it's as an athlete, you think you get to write the ending, but the ending just happens sometimes. So I'm just really focused on what's tomorrow, what this team needs to do to make a playoff push, because we have it in us. So all my energy, all my attention's towards that, towards making sure we're on track in this next week going into the playoffs. That's my mindset.
So you don't have any sort of feeling yet of how much longer you want to play, or how do you want your career to go out and make a tour of the league for the last time?
She's out when I retire.
Yeah, I won't be doing no tour.
No tour?
No.
So when you go, you're gonna go?
When I go, don't we just all just go?
You want to take her out in fashion?
I'll do one more.
G, I gotta ask you about the days in Chino, as I always do.
Yeah.
What was it like developing that work ethic
Yeah.
back in the day when you were coming up before you
Yeah.
got to UConn at Honolulu?
I didn't look at it as work ethic. I looked at it as going to my front yard and playing basketball every day. It's what I like to do. I loved watching it. I loved playing it. It didn't seem like work. It didn't seem like a job. It didn't seem like, a checklist. It was just, I was always playing basketball, whether it was in the house, front yard, whether it was at school, practice. To me, it was all the same. It was just hooping. It was just playing. I think as you get older, you understand certain things that you have to do to be a professional and to stay, at a high level. So I think that came later on.
Thanks, Steve.